Let us begin with this stotra. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kovi viriritam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadaatatam bhuvi grinanti e bhurida janaha. Today, our Master Mahashaya who recorded this Gospel, he is giving the description that happened in the Dakshineshwar where Sri Ramakrishna is to stay, and it was Sunday, September 7, 1884. See, he is mentioning that it was about 11 o'clock and Master was sitting in his room at Dakshineshwar, and he had not yet taken his midday meal. That means Sri Ramakrishna used to eat before 12. That was fixed, because he used to say after 12 is very bad, eating the lunch. So we can understand that it was almost like 10:30, 11:30, that is the time, and discussion was going on. And in that discussion, he was talking about the different cult. Today, we will discuss very important two aspects of the religion. One is all paths are leading to the same goal, and how to purify the mind. These are the two subjects we listen from Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. He is talking with the Bauls, as we discussed in the previous. The Bauls is a sect of Hinduism, but it's a mixture of Tantra and Vedanta, we can say. But in their practices are completely different. But the mixture of Vedanta and Tantra. Here, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, when talking with them, he said, according to Shakti cult, Shakti means those who are worshipper of Shiva and the goddess Kali. According to the Shakti cult, realized soul is known as Kola. So I will request you to give the attention to the final goal. See, different names, but how things are same. The realized soul is known as Kola by the Shakti cult. And the Bauls, you know, they practices through songs. Different songs they'll be singing and they'll be dancing, and that is their way of practices. They don't have any houses, they'll be moving from place to place. And that, according to the Bauls, the realized soul is Sai. And the Sufi cult is a Muslim and is also mixed with the Vedanta. These Bauls and the Sufis also is mixed with some sort of Hinduism, Vedanta in them. The Sufis also say Alik. They always say the final person who has realized that is Alik. And the God is Alik Niranjan. They'll say Alik Niranjan. This Alik means the purified one. And the Bhakti cult, the same condition, the realized soul is known as Ishwar Drashta, one who has seen God. And for the Vedantins, they call Brahmagya. Gya means knower, the knower of Brahman. The Ga means the knower of Brahman, Brahmagya. So this is the whole thing that we find, all steps. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna sitting in one place casually, going on telling this, and in reality, he is giving that one pushed up thing which is very much necessary present day life. We cannot survive without religion. Religion is a must for the human survival. I said in our appeal that it is like the religion and human being, the relation is just the water and the fish. Fish cannot survive without water. And human being cannot survive without religion. But if that water is contaminated, poisoned, it becomes the source of death for the fishes. And the same way, if the religion becomes the narrow, sectarian, it becomes the cause of pain for the human society. So we have to understand what actually truly religion is. Now here, the Sri Ramakrishna, he is mentioning that once a Baul, he asked him in a very peculiar way. Sometimes in North India, when the two monks are meeting each other, they will greet in this way. Drishti saaf hai, Swamiji? Are you having a clear idea? And if you say, oh yeah, my glasses are perfect, or yes, I don't have any glasses, I can see. No, it's wrong. They are telling, are you aware about your true nature? That you are nothing but the Atman, the Brahman, Drishti. Drishti means your sight. Is it clear? Same way, the Bauls, they always ask, have you finished the task of refining the syrup? See how they are asking. The syrup is totally something different. And refining means, when they are boiling, they go on taking out the liquid part, and ultimately is a very crystal thing that remains. So that is what they call refining the syrup. And that means, have you made your mind purified? Refining the syrup means purification of the mind. Syrup here is mind. And refining means purification. So Sri Ramakrishna mentioned about that, the refining of the syrup. Now, what is that mind? This is a very vital question. So we have a mind, every one of us we know, but we do not understand exactly what this mind is. So I will take the help of our Adi Shankaracharya, the great master of Vedanta, who is giving the definition of the mind. And he said, Jnanendriyani cha manascha monomaya syat. What is mind? Mind is that which is combined with all the senses of knowledge. Jnanendriyani, organs of the knowledge, the sense of knowledge. What are the five? The eye, the nose, the tongue, the skin, and the ear. So these are the five organs every human being are having. They are going out, collecting the information from the objects, giving to the mind. This we all know. But it goes on in such a way, we do not pay much heed to these. We don't pay much attention. It is automatically going on. But the Hindus, they have researched on that because they wanted to go beyond the bondage. What is that bondage? Attachment to the world, the all worldly things. And how we are attached? Through the body? No. Then where is the problem? So going on researching, they found out, inside our body there is a mind. And mind is the cause of all these bondages. So then in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also, so Shankaracharya, he gave in his own way, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, instead of giving a direct definition, it gives some activities of the mind by which you can understand what is mind. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad say, Kama Shankalpa. Kama Shankalpa means desire. Shankalpa means decision. Kama means desire. So decision to fulfill the desire, Kama and Shankalpa. Then Vichikitsa, doubt. We have the desire, we have the capacity to take the decision to fulfill that desire, then we have vichikitsa, doubts also, whether it will be possible for us or not. Every day in our life it is happening, every day. And then shraddha, ashraddha, positive thinking, negative thinking. Shraddha, positive, and ashraddha, negative, constantly going on in our mind. Dhriti, the firmness. I am going to do this, I am not going to listen to anybody else. That is also in our mind. Adhriti, confusion. Shall I do this or shall I not? Where I will do? Constantly is going on. Re, the shame. Sometimes we feel shame. Sometimes the children, if they make any mistake, they will be lowering down their head, they will stand. It's a sign of shyness. That we are also having that same. Shame is the shyness. Then the wisdom. This wisdom is called that we can understand the subtle thing also. Somebody says something and we can understand that. That type of subtle capacity of the mind to understand is called the. Then Bri. Bri is called, Bri means fear. And all these modifications are our mind. The Brihadaranyaka Upanishads is giving so many, almost covering everything, which happens in all the time in our mind. So this is mind. And Shankaracharya is telling how it is possible. It's the mind attached with our all the senses of knowledge, these five, that is. Now we find Shankara again is telling, Nasti avidya manasa atirikta. Where is the bondage? Where is the problem? It is in the mind. And why Shankara says that it is avidya? Avidya means ignorance, nescience. We misunderstand things. That is called avidya in Sanskrit. What is the misunderstanding? We accept which is completely temporary as permanent. Every one of us constantly going on thinking. See, the older generation, they are selling out the property. The younger generation, they are going on purchasing the property. Things are going on the same way. And the grandfather and the father, they are withdrawing the things. And the sons and the grandsons, they are jumping on those things which they are now leaving. Is it not going on? If you just open your eyes and you see, same thing is going on. Why? Because we are bound to do that. We cannot control. Why? Because of avidya, the ignorance, the nescience. And where from that nescience the avidya comes? A very special power of God that is covering our mind. That's called Maya. In Sanskrit, that is a great word, M-A-Y-A, Maya. And notice that Maya nobody can define. But we are all influenced by the Maya. And this Maya is very peculiar. And that's why one after another, side by side, the same thing is happening. But we do not understand. The elderly people in India, they are selling out all the properties in India, they are coming back and settling with their children. And children are purchasing property over here. And then one day will come, then once again they will give that on sale. Why? Things are going on. It is all temporary, but we always think that this is permanent. No problem in purchasing or selling. The problem is if we take it seriously. That's why Shankara says, Manohi avidya bhavabandha hetu. The problem is with the mind. And that is the reason the Baul, they are very conscious about it. So he is constantly warning the others, his fellow, the Bauls, that are you serious about refining your syrup? Are you serious about refining your mind? And what is that refinement? Here comes. The mind has four functions. The way we call mind in English, there is a completely different than the Sanskrit word mana. M-A-N-A, mana, usually translated as a mind, but the mana has 4 different aspects, actions. What are those? One is confusion, the very first thing. Shall I do it or shall I not? Any decision we like to take, before that, and they always say, the elderly people, think 100 times before you take the decision. That's true. And why this in the mind? It never comes. Then we go to some people and ask, what do you think about it? What do you think? We take the opinions. Then only. About the diseases, we go for second opinion, third opinion from the doctors. One doctor said this, I go to second doctor, third doctor, then only we, oh yes, all are telling the same thing, okay. Why? Because the confusion is always there in our mind. And that confusion is because of the Maya. It cannot allow us to take the decision. But again, there is a part of the mind. When that sankalpa, vikalpa, atmika, when shall I do this or shall I not, that portion of the mind is known as mana, M-A-N-A, mana. Then another part of the same mind is called intellect, buddhi. It takes the decision. As a good leader means, it can understand the whole situation and can take the decision. That is a good leader. Leader doesn't mean that is someone in the political field. Leader everywhere, in the business world, in the social lives, in the private personal lives also. The father is the leader of the whole household. If he takes wrong decisions, suffering for all the members of the family. So obviously, the one who is taking the decision must be very careful. Why? Intellect, buddhi. This buddhi, this intellect, and then comes the chitta. Chitta is the storehouse. The moment I went to somebody's house, the little girl, she saw me, but small little girl, naturally forgot. When the father was talking and introducing, oh, you have seen Swamiji, and this thing happened, that thing happened. We visited Swamiji over there. Slowly, she started understanding. And they showed the pictures also. Then she became very close to, because the recognition. But the elderly people, the moment we see, immediately it comes in the mind. Where from it comes? That is called chitta. And these 3 functions are happening because of the power, and that power is named as ahamkara. This ahamkara, that is the 4. Now, what is jivatma? Here is very important. We always call the jivatma. The jiva means this living being, atma means this soul. What is that soul? It says, buddhi, that intellect part of the mind, plus ahamkara, the ego, the power of the mind, plus pancha gyanendriya, plus the last one, the reflection of the pure consciousness on the intellect. This is a very vital point for the Vedanti. When they say the God is residing in every being, how is residing? The vital question. If the God is residing in every being, that means God has become so many millions of limits, small pieces. And there is no actual God now, because He has been divided into millions of pieces. Is it possible? No. Then how God is residing? In Sanskrit is a beautiful word, 2 letters word called Vibhu. Vibhu means all pervading. How it is possible? Consciousness. And consciousness, all pervading. Each and everyone is having that consciousness. When that consciousness is absent, then we are dead. And what is that consciousness? Reflection of the pure consciousness. It's not that original one, it's a reflection. But it is so powerful that the buddhi, our intellect, becomes so luminous. So that is the reason we say our mind is God or the intellect is our God. But in reality, it's the reflection. So this is main we have to remember. We are going to realize God, but what that we, or I am going to realize God, what that I, then we say, it is my soul, the Jivatma. In the Christians and the Muslim, the system and the tradition, they say, they will go to heaven someday. That they wait for the final call, that then they go to the heaven. What that day? That body, wrong thing. Body is decomposed. Whatever may be the we are applying on the body, how long it will survive. And maybe that we are making the stone building inside the earth and keeping that. No, that won't be there. If you open, you will find nothing. Sometimes even the bones are also not there. It's our faith. That is a different thing. But what actually remains? That consciousness. It never goes anywhere. So naturally, the Hindus, they say, you burn the body. There are so many places the Hindus are burning the body. And Hindus are everywhere nowadays. Then what happened, in some country in Middle East, usually they don't die. Hindus, they don't die over there because young people, they come, they work and they go back. So there was no problem. Suddenly one accident happened and one worker, he passed away. He was a Hindu and he was not having sufficient money to take that dead body to the country. So the groups of Hindu, they went to the governor of the city and told, you have to allow us to burn it. Then they said, no, it is not allowed over here. There's a lot of lawsuits and this thing, dead body is lying and they are now going on discussion. Ultimately, they had to accept because the majority of the Hindus are there everywhere in the country taking care of the work. Doctors, engineers, teachers. So what to do? Then they gave in a corner, in a very remote place, in the desert, and there they took their woods and they burned. They could keep the body as they keep in the way the local people did do, burying their bodies. No. Because our tradition, we have to burn, so all these things happen, they burn the body, like this had happened. So this way it goes. Why we Hindus burn the body? Because they don't pay much attention to the body. Why? Because Jivatma. Jiva, Atma, these two words together, Jivatma. What is that Jivatma? Jivatma is the combination of three things. What? First is intellect. It's not the mind, it's the intellect, the buddhi. Then another part of the mind, the ahamkara, ego. And the third thing is panchagyanendriya. On these three, reflection of the super consciousness, supreme consciousness. And that is called the Jivatma. And so the Thakur is asking Sri Ramakrishna, one can see God, but not through this mind, through purified mind. ईश्वर के देखा जाए तो शुद्ध मन, शुद्ध आत्मा, एक. The pure mind and the pure soul or the God are the same. Now what is this purity? We will go to this. And this is really, really very important. Sri Ramakrishna told only one sentence. But you see, to understand that, we have to explain so many ways. Refining the syrup is very important. Purification of our present mind is very, very important. But how? Again, Shankara says, Tat mana shodhanam karyam priyatnena mumukshuna. Who will do it? those who are mumukshu. Who are the mumukshu? They are very curious, very interested to realize God. Very interested to know the truth. So that is called mumukshu. In one single word, it but explains the whole personality of the gentleman or the lady who is trying to realize God. Mumukshu. This mumukshuta means desire to realize God. Desires are there, so many desires. Hundreds of millions of desires. The human being is nothing but desires only. From the morning to before you go to bed, all my desires. But some desires are so good. What? I like to see God. I like to serve God. I like to feed God. I like to become like God. And all desires, those who are having, they are a separate group and they are called mumukshu. Mumukshu, they must try. The seekers of liberation must try sincerely to purify the mind. Tat mana shodhanam, mana mind, shodhanam purification, karyam activity, prayatnena mumukshuna. They must start practicing that. Visuddhe sati cha etasmin, when the mind is purified, then Shankara is telling a very, very interesting word. He says, mukti, liberation, is just like a fruit that is on your palm. You can take it anytime. Kara phalayate. Kara means the palm. Phala is the fruit. It's just like a fruit on your palm. Anytime you can eat and you can taste, it's just that much time it will take. And it so becomes so simple. So how to realize God? By purification of the mind. And how to purify mind? We will come to that. And the process of purification is not much, only 5. What are the 5 things? It says, first and foremost, decision, firm decision to realize the truth. That's the first thing, firm decision to realize the truth. That Jesus said to his disciples, burn the boat at your back and follow me. Why he said burn the boat? Sometimes in English they will say, those who are dedicating for the service of God, after crossing the bridge, burn the bridge. That means you are in the household and from there you are going to take another life, pursuing or trying to realize the God. No question of going back. Burn the bridge, burn the boat. If it is already there, sometimes some boys, they will come to become a monk, but they will keep their bank accounts, and from the job they will take 1 year the vacation or 6 months vacation, they will come. And not only that, they will be in this place sometime and that place sometime. So they are going on testing, they won't be able to become a monk. The monkhood means, the Guru said, and Swami Vivekananda said, one person came, Swamiji, I like to become your disciple. Why? I like to realize God. Is it? Okay. Are you ready to listen to the words of Guru? Yes. Go on, climb on that tree and jump from there. Are you ready? He said, jumping from there, I will die. That means you don't have the faith on the words of Guru. You can't become. Decision means decision. So that's why firm decision to realize the truth. No question. Acha, okay, let us try and then go back. Not like that. It's a strong decision. I am going to realize the truth. And second, root out the attachment to sense objects. This is second. Root out the attachment. We are there, working, living, utilizing everything that we are doing in this world, because as long as we are surviving, as long as this body is there, we have to take medicine, we have to take food, we have to sleep, we have to do each and everything that this body and minds want. We have to do. We must do. Otherwise, just going and committing suicide is no reason. And we must do all those things, mixing with the people, going to the society, but there's a big but, and that is unattached. Everything should be from the distance. We go, we do that, but we are not there. So second is root out the attachment. It's not for one day, it is a practice. The attachment you have to give slowly. Renounce all actions. There's a little confusion. Actions, if we give up, then what we will do? Many of the people, they always give the reference, the Indians, the Hindus, Ramana Maharshi is a great soul. The Ramana Maharshi, he never did any action, any work in that way. Afterwards, he used to give some advices, that's also the work. And some of our Swamis are also there, those who were the direct disciples of Ma Sharadamani Devi, 4 friends. They went to Ma Sharadamani Devi and they told, we don't like to work, only we like to practice meditation. Will you please allow us? Mother gave them the Gerua Vastra, the go, because if you are wearing this saffron color cloth, you will get some food wherever you go. Great respect is there for the monks in India, Indian society. So take this and go and practice. Mother never said, no, you have to work, never. Because they were ready. They are very highly advanced souls. Without any work, 24 hours continuously practicing meditation and calling on God is not a matter. Otherwise we'll become mad. We have seen some of the people forcefully trying to do that, becoming mad. They lost their mental balances. So Swami Vivekananda, he introduced this, and with the 4 yogas, and that is so easy it has become. Even the ordinary people can also purify their mind. When you get up in the morning, after the ablution, you're coming and sitting for the prayer, meditation, and chanting the name of God. One way you're purifying the mind. How you're purifying? Detaching your mind from the worldly thoughts and applying the mind on the thought of God. That is purification. Then you go and then you come to worship, or you go and take little food, and then you go for the work. Whatever the work has been given to you, that you are doing, and thinking that I am giving this work as dedicating this work to the feet of God. That is also purification. Even those who are in the household, they can also practice in this way. Monks, of course, they can do. In the Ramakrishna mission, if you go, you will find that. Those who are declaring that we are following the path of knowledge, or those who are declaring that we are following the path of bhakti, go to them. You see their same routine they are following, like us. Same routine. In the morning they are getting up and praying or meditating, and then they are going for some work. Either they are cooking or taking care of the cows in the cowshed, or this work, that work, selling books, writing books. All those works they are doing. Without work, no one can stay. So obviously the work, but if that work is dedicated every moment to God, your mind is purified. So this is second. Then third is first prayer, meditation, and this work, and then knowledge. Constantly you are reading books or listening to the words of the gurus, discussing between the friends, among the friends, and that way you are keeping your mind always on an intellectual level, spiritual level. That is also. So all the 4 processes are helping you. So they say, root out the attachment of sense objects, renounce the action, kamya karma, those actions which you are doing for the result, that you should give away. And many of the people, now those who are keeping touch with our the things that is happening in our country, almost all those who are going for the boat and all that, going to the temples. Previously, none of them visited. But now any temple in any locality, they are all going and then giving the costly, the flower, all those things to the god, and their pictures are also published in the newspaper, and people are happy. See how devoted they are. They are not. They are going to God only because of this. And afterwards, when they will be elected, keep notice how many times they go over there? No. So this is not kamya karma. I am going to God and doing this because with the blessings of God I like to achieve this. That is called kamya karma. Work with strong desire. That we should not do. And then faith in the Brahman or pure consciousness. Because we are discussing from the point of view of the Vedanta, so pure consciousness, that is there. And I am that, practice that all the time. So 5, firm decision. 2nd, root out the attachment. 3rd, renounce the action with result. And the 4th is faith in the consciousness of God. And 5th, practice whatever the Guru has given you to do. Sometimes repeating the name of God and praying, or sometimes going on repeating the Mahavakya. These are the processes by which we can purify our mind. So Sri Ramakrishna said, only the bowl came and he said, have you refined or purified, finished the task of refining the syrup? So see how things goes on. What is that syrup? Mind. What is that mind? Part of the Jivatma. What is the Jivatma? Then how to purify the mind? Why? Because that is the cause of bondage. And how it binds? Because of the desire. So what is the purification? Giving up the desire and then going towards the God. And the whole process Sri Ramakrishna put in a very simple language. Who can say that? Sri Ramakrishna said, turn your mind, more firiye thou. Turn your mind towards God. Mind has desire. Mind has activities. Mind has the ignorance. But if you turn towards God, God, I don't know anything but you. I don't want anything but you. So all this, if you are turning towards God, purification of the mind. So how simple it is. So that's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling like that. Then he is telling, so the bowls do not like the worship of an image. This is in India there are many sects are there. They do not worship images. So the bowls do not like worship of an image. The Sikhs, they're a part of the Hindus. They follow the same way, but now a little bit different. So they are keeping the turban as a symbol of the religious faith, and other things are also. They don't have the image. What do? They go and worship a book. When they go to that's called Gurudwara, the door of the Guru. What is that Guru? God. And how to approach the God? By worshipping a book. Instead of this type of images, photos, they keep the book. There is another group in the northeastern part of India. They are very strong, the Krishna worshippers, but without the image of Krishna. They worship the book, that is Bhagavata. That book they will keep in a very nice way. They will come and they will worship that book and they will read from that book. So they have given the name of the temple Namgar. So all the approaches are different. The Sri Ramakrishna is telling they don't worship the image. What they do, they want a living man to worship. And that is why in some of their sects is called Karta Bhaja. Karta means the master. Bhaja means worshippers. They worship the master. They worship the Karta, that is Guru, and that is God. You see now Sri Ramakrishna is telling. You see so many opinions there are about God. Each opinion is a path. There are innumerable opinions and innumerable paths leading to God. This is very, very important, this advice for the present day. So we are constantly fighting in the name of religion. We are constantly dividing people in the name of religion. So this advice of Sri Ramakrishna. So when they say that there are innumerable opinions and innumerable paths, then one disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, his name is Bhavana, he asked, then what should we do? With so many paths, so many opinions, which one we should follow? Look at this. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, you must stick to one path with all your strength. A man can reach the roof of a house, he is giving the example, by stone stairs or a ladder or a rope ladder or a rope or even a bamboo pole. But he cannot reach the roof if he sets foot now on one and now on the another. He should firmly follow one path. Likewise, in order to realize God, a man must follow one path with all the strength. So this is the advice of Sri Ramakrishna. When you say about the all paths are coming to the same goal, how it is possible? Sometimes some people you do not understand, they will come, then why you don't you become this and change the religion? You need not do. Only you should be sincere and serious about following a path. Friends, I will take the help of another book that we have published. Many of you have seen. The Many Ways to God, based on this advice of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And we have researched, our people have researched, and we have published that book, and in details have been given. Of course, we cannot say details. Briefly, we have given 6 or 7 religious paths. And then ultimately at the back of the book, we have given a chart, visual chart, and you can see how all paths are leading to the same goal. Then Sri Ramakrishna, but you must regard other views as so many paths leading to God. One must be sincere following one's own path, and then, he said, you must regard other views, so many paths leading to God. Here I brought the book, and see the last page. Here, in this way, we have given a chart. The book is Many Ways to God. This small book. Here we have given this. I will just read the practices. We have given religion, period of origin, founder, primary scripture, and practices. I will just follow the practices, you see. First, Hinduism. What are the practices? Ethics and morality. Then prayer, worship, pilgrimage, meditation, repetition of holy name, japa, observance of holy days, austerities, exercise to restrain one's own body and mind, love and unselfishness, then discrimination between the permanent, the real, and the temporal, unreal. Next comes the Jainism, and that is also a part of the Hinduism but practiced separately. And they say ethics and morality. So if you go to a Jain, he will say, we are Jains, we are not Hindus. Okay, but what are the things you follow? Hindus, they follow ethics and morality. First thing, ethics and morality. Pilgrimage, meditation, observance of the holy days, austerities, that means to exercise, to restrain one's body and mind, unselfishness, and dispassion towards the worldly objects. Any difference? So this is the thing. If we really sincerely follow, then the third comes the Buddhism. The one lady told Swami, I'm very much interested in Buddhism. I told, why not follow that? And what is Buddhism? The Hinduism cannot give me the satisfaction I like to follow the Buddhism. Welcome, follow that. But what is that Buddhism? It says, faith in the teaching of Buddha. And what is that teaching? Right view, right aspiration, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right endeavor, right mindfulness, and right concentration. That means ethics, morality, control of the body and mind, compassion, unselfishness, and development of correct understanding. Any difference between Hindu and Muslim? The Jains and the Buddhists? In practice is all the same. Only we will recite, maybe many of the Hindus, those who know, mostly they will recite it from the Sanskrit. And these people, the Buddhists from the Pali, that much. Some of the words are different, but the same practices. Now then come Judaism. And the Judaism, they practices charity, justice, prayer, meditation, diet, rest, observance of holidays, treatment of the fellow humans. Every act of Jewish person can become an act of worship, karma yoga, and you must perform in a way that abides by God's law. That is. Then Judaism, then comes the Christianity. Righteousness, purity, unselfishness, ethics, morality, faith in Jesus, prayer, worship, pilgrimage, meditation, repetition of God's name, austerity to restrain one's body and mind, love, charity, unselfishness. Do you think there is anything new? And finally, Islam, they call faith, fasting, and pilgrimage. That is Islam they do. But these are when Sri Ramakrishna is telling all paths are leading to the same goal, we say, how it is possible? Because the Hindu temple, we are having so many images, and the Christians and Islam, they are not having the images that much. In the Hindus also, just now I quoted, the bowls not having any images. Even the Vaishnavas, the sect of Vaishnavas not having any images. There are some philosophies, they are not having any images. They do not even believe in the existence of God, they believe only the soul. So there are so many. But all are leading to one thing. What is that? Ethics and morality, love and unselfishness. So that's why Swami Vivekananda, when he came over here, and this is the main thing in the modern society. When Sri Ramakrishna, after practicing all this religion in his own life, he passed away in 1886. Within a small period, not even 10 years, 8, 9 years. 1893, first time in the history of the human society, in the 10,000 years of the civilization, first time someone thought, why not we have a congregation of all the different faiths and here in this Chicago? So that is the speciality. The Sri Ramakrishna, the God, he gave that thought and it reached the heart of someone. And he was thinking, I am thinking. John Barrows, they were thinking we should do, but where from that thought came? And then that was the first time they actually organized the meeting and the celebration, exhibition, only to sell their products. But how come this thing? And then they never invited the Hinduism. Confused whom to invite. There are so many sects are there. But the Hindu person, one Hindu person came uninvited, almost crashed the door and entered. And he was the disciple of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And his words touched the hearts of 7,000 present there. So don't you feel that truly something is coming and that is leading to this idea that we must follow our own path but not hitting others? And this thought only can bring peace in the mind of the human being. So if from the childhood we learn this, no hatred, no criticism, follow your own path. That is the best civilized way of thinking. That will help. And Sri Ramakrishna, in Bengali we call it Jata Mat Tata Path. As many faiths, so many paths. But you must regard other views as so many paths leading to God. You should not feel that your path is the only right path. Those who have read the lectures of Swami Vivekananda delivered over here, the same thing Vivekananda echoed with a better language, that's all. And that other paths are wrong, you must not bear malice towards others. This is the teachings of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Those who come to take the initiation, I always say, initiation is nothing but accepting ideology. And what is the ideology of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna? This, the pure love and unselfishness. That is the ideology of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And following the Sri Ramakrishna's way, one cannot criticize others, should not do that. Otherwise, you are not following his path. And the time will come, the people will know, the world will know that this is the only way to save our skin all over the world. And people are constantly thinking in a narrow way, we can kill them and we can be happy. It cannot be. The moment you are generating hatred, maybe that hatred that will go to others, when that is solved, the same thing will enter into your family. You will start hating your family. Because that is the quality that you have developed, the wrong quality, bad quality. And so obviously we have to understand, when you are reading the pages of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, we should understand that the God has incarnated in the modern age to guide us. Why? To give us peace and happiness and also liberation. The liberation means free from the bondage of the circle of birth and death by following all the paths that has been prescribed, the yoga, bhakti, devotion, then meditation and also jnana, knowledge. So these four paths, when we are following, we become a perfect personality. And then we develop love for each and every one. And that love gives us a satisfaction, a containment. That is the achievement of the spiritual life. Thank you very much. Let us chant this mantra. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam Bhaktanukampa Dhrita Vigraham Vai Ishavattaram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namama Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.